There's loads of use cases for being able to use Telegram inside of n8n if you're creating things on the go, if you want to trigger workflows on the go. This video is going to cover how you set up a Telegram bot, how you connect that bot into Telegram, how you set up your credential, and then how you handle images. If you want to be able to send an image, perhaps you're going to pass that image into another AI model that creates a video from that image. You need to be able to handle that image. What happens, images come into n8n as binary files, and you need a publicly accessible URL to be able to hand off to those models. I'm going to explain how I get around that. Have a look at just a quick mock-up demonstration of passing data through n8n. A quick mock-up. I've taken an n8n workflow that I use for something else, and I've just edited it out to make this a simpler, faster video to show you how, and just to focus on how do we use Telegram inside of n8n. First things first, we're going to need a Telegram bot. If you've never done this before, let me just show you. You need to go onto Telegram and then search for the bot father, and you can see it's the official bot father with the blue check and over 3.3 million monthly users. What we need to do is just type /new bot, and then it starts a conversation with the bot father. And it'll ask you what you want to call it. You tell him, comes back, and then you need to give the name for your bot. This is always, there's no spaces, so you use underscores, and it's got to end with bot. Once you've done that, it's going to give you the information that you need to set up your credential. So you've got the API key, which you can see right now. I'm just going to delete this bot afterwards. If you're using API keys, you need to make sure that you keep them safe, treat them as passwords, don't show them like in this instance in the video. That's okay right now. I'm going to delete this, like I said. And then the link here, this will take us into the chat for that bot. So we'll just keep this up for a moment. And the first things first, then, when you send this up, if you want to find that Telegram node, we go into Telegram, scroll to the bottom, and we've got triggers, trigger on a message. We click this. It's this node we've got here. When you open that up, go into create new credential, and then give it a name. Then the API key that they've given you in your Telegram chat, you just paste that API key into access token, click save, give it a few seconds, and then you should see a green banner come up here to say that it's been successfully connected. Then you've got your credential set up for that one bot. Remember, you can have multiple bots if you like, so make sure you're giving it good names. When you set this up for the first time, the best thing to do is just run these nodes one after the other as you're setting it up. So click execute in that node, and then be ready to send an image over. And now what we want to do is we want to get that file. So same as before, Telegram, we see that they've got a node called get file. So we select that get file, and what will happen here, we get the file ID, which is this one here, file ID. And the way that Telegram does this, they give you, there's a few different ones. So you've got photo 0 will be the smallest, photo 1 the next. There's different sizes. We're just going to use photo 0 in this instance. That will be the smallest file size. And when we execute this step, you can see now that we've actually got that file inside n8n. And we at the top here, we've got this new tab called binary. So now we've got that binary data. Now that was all well and good, and we can view that file. A little picture of the dog. Now we need that to be, so this here, if we look at the file ID, isn't a URL. What we need to do, if we go back, if you wanted to send that image onto another model, like we've got in the example up here, these are just nodes that I've taken out, that they were in this part of the workflow here. I wanted to make this just about Telegram, but this node here does a HTTP request to Google's Veo 3, and we can actually send an image to Google's Veo 3 along with the prompt, and it can edit that image for us. If we want to be able to pass that image to Google's Veo 3, it needs to be a publicly accessible URL. So the way we get that, I've used Cloudinary, And they're free plans, very good. They're very generous with the amount that you can use. So we can use even just a free account with Cloudinary. And in here, we're going to upload that image. And then what we get in return is a publicly accessible URL. And we can see that we pass that on, we just upload that, and then we get in return at the output, we get this URL. Now, if you're using AI agents, another thing to think about if you're using images, the AI agent in this case can't actually see that image. So you can use a ChatGPT node like this that will take that URL. So all we need to do then is just drag that across and drop it in where it says URL. And then under resources, we've got image, analyze image, pick a model. And then when you execute this workflow, like I said, it's given a description that you can pass on to the agent. Within this agent now, just a very quick mock-up. All I've done is just say give me a description of the image. And then I've passed that image description along, picture analyst. What you can do in here, this is where you would use long system prompts that explain, perhaps it's a UGC creator, if that's something you want to do, where you want to pass an image of a product along, and then just have a look on my YouTube channel. There's other videos that explain how you do that in more depth. We just want to keep this about Telegram. So then we've got an output. Then that output we can send. And what we need to do to send that, we open the node here. We need to get the chat ID. This comes right from the beginning. So we've got our chat ID. So it's a dynamic value we drag across, and we have that in there. And then the text, which is the output, what we want that to send is we just drag output from our AI agent, hit execute step, and that sends it across. If I just deactivate this one and have a look, you see this actually says send the video. What's happening here is it's taking the video so we send the image across to VO3 and we get a video back. This get request gets that video, and then we can select the node for send a video in Telegram, and then we can send that video back as well. If you want to understand how this whole workflow works, just have a look on my channel, and there's one there that explains it all. So then when you click on that link, this was the image that I sent, and then the description that's come back. Yeah, it's not really so much about what was being sent and what the action that we're performing. It's more about how we set up Telegram and then how we pass images. If you've got any questions, please feel free, leave them in the comments. If you want me to make a video just on setting up Cloudinary, I'll be happy to do that. Just leave a message in the comments. Their API documents are online. It's fairly simple to follow along. But if you do want to see a video, don't forget, like, subscribe, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.